According to palace insiders, Prince William's recent outburst against Keir Starmer is unparalleled in contemporary royal history. His exact comments caused the largest constitutional crisis Britain has experienced in 50 years, shocking 2 continents. And what followed sent shockwaves through Westminster that are still being felt today. The royal family is in complete disarray. Ministers are scheming, cabinet members are running away. The next 72 hours will permanently alter Britain, so click the subscribe button immediately to observe how this crisis ruins careers. This is the cause of the constitutional crisis that is threatening to bring down Britain. 9:47 a.m. Prince William attended what was meant to be a standard charity function for South London's homeless veterans yesterday morning. His speech was intended to address housing, mental health care, and other fundamental issues that are safely kept out of politics. William wasn't adhering to protocol, though. His message was heartbreaking as he gazed straight into the cameras. There's a serious problem with our priorities when our government redistributes billions to people who have just arrived while promising support for those who have served. However, karma did not anticipate a direct challenge from the future monarch. Instead, Downing Street exploded. In less than 90 minutes, the Prime Minister retaliated with a remark so poisonous that even his own lawmakers gasped. The royal family would change forever. Starmer's reaction was terrible and quick. Standing outside number 10 at 11:23 a.m., he confronted the cameras with an almost uncontrollably angry expression, according to witnesses. His precise words were terrifying. Prince William must realize that Britain is not a kingdom governed by inherited privilege, but rather a democracy. Perhaps he should run for office himself and confront the electorate, if he wishes to lecture elected leaders about priorities. The reaction was explosive right away. In a matter of minutes, the number William v. Starmer went viral on Twitter. Emergency sessions were convened by Conservative MPs. Incredulous, Labour backbenchers gazed at their phones. Senior Westminster sources claim that Shadow Foreign Secretary David Lammy was overheard suggesting he had chosen a fight with Britain's most popular monarch. This is suicide in politics. But few anticipated how severely the hammer would fall. Buckingham Palace released a statement at 2:15 p.m. that constitutional experts are referring to as nuclear. Concerning matters that impact millions of British families, the Prince of Wales spoke from the heart. He has never wavered in his support of vulnerable individuals and veterans. When their advocate tells the truth, those who serve this country deserve more than political insults. Take a look at what the palace did. They offered no apology. They refused to back down. They intensified and portrayed Starmer as the antagonist targeting veterans. In the meantime, British veterans who gave their everything for this nation are living in conditions that would make a developing country blush. Last week, a 62-year-old veteran of Fallons named James Morrison was discovered dozing off in a Manchester doorway. He begged for spare cash while his service decorations were fastened to his jacket. James waited 14 months for a council flat, but it never arrived. With tears in his eyes, he told reporters, "I fought for this country. My government now acts as though I don't exist." His tale is not original. Former Royal Navy doctor Sarah Patterson, who completed 3 tours in Afghanistan, resides in a Brighton parking lot. Due to the 18-month waiting list, she was denied mental health services despite having PTSD. She broke her voice as she said, "I patched up soldiers under enemy fire, and now I can't even get the council to return my calls." Prince William was standing up for these folks. They are the heroes that Starmer disregarded. On the other hand, asylum seekers who arrive by sea are immediately housed in hotels that cost taxpayers £8 million every day. We're talking about spending money, 3 meals a day, 4-star accommodations, complete medical treatment, and legal counsel, at $120 per person each night. The Britannia Hotel in Stockport accommodates 240 asylum seekers. For one hotel, that is $28,800 each night. James Morrison, meanwhile, sleeps on cardboard. Even lifelong Labour supporters are beginning to doubt their allegiance due to the stark and obscene disparity. At 6 p.m., a YouGov survey was issued. 68% of Britons agreed with Prince William's speech yesterday. That figure jumps to 79% among those over 50. Between veterans and their relatives, it is at 91%. Starmer targeted the nation's conscience in addition to a royal. Then an amazing event occurred that no one had anticipated. With a move so audacious that constitutional scholars are still debating its legitimacy, King Charles breached 70 years of royal custom after carefully avoiding anything even slightly political for the past 2 years. Around 4:30 p.m. yesterday, King Charles made comments at what was supposed to be a regular meeting with the Privy Council. These statements were promptly leaked to 3 prominent publications. With what insiders characterize as steely determination, the king said, "When my son speaks about duty, service, and the welfare of those who defended this realm, he speaks with my full support. The people, not the political class, are the reason the monarchy exists. According to palace insiders, Charles gave his own approval for the disclosure. He wanted the nation to be fully aware of his position. Heated debates among senior advisors over whether this goes beyond constitutional bounds were overheard. "I've never seen the king this angry in 30 years of service," acknowledged a longtime palace official who wished to remain unnamed. He feels that by disrespecting William, Starmer disrespected all British veterans. The Prime Minister faces disastrous optics: a father standing up for his son, a monarch standing up for veterans, and a future king exposing the hypocrisy of the government, all while Starmer appears petty, spiteful, and utterly oblivious to the concerns of regular British families. But hold on, there's more to this that makes it even more explosive. According to 3 different sources inside Kensington Palace, Prince William's speech was a planned strategy that took months to prepare. Since last October, the prince has been visiting homeless shelters in 6 cities and holding covert meetings with veteran advocacy groups. This was not an emotional outburst. Rather, it was a future king drawing a line in the sand about the kind of Britain he wants to inherit. He sat with former soldiers living in tents under bridges, and one advisor close to William revealed he had been building to this moment for half a year. He knew exactly what he was doing and knew it would cause a firestorm. The royal family isn't merely responding to events. Sources claim that Princess Catherine fully endorsed the speech and urged William to go beyond his first draft, telling him that silence is complicity. According to a palace insider, she said their children will inherit a Britain that is unrecognizable unless someone speaks up now. Investment analysts cited political instability and constitutional uncertainty as the reasons why the pound sterling fell 1.8% against the dollar by Friday morning, its steepest single-day decline since the mini-budget disaster of 2022. They are shaping them. The domino effect hit the economy before the markets even opened. In the first hour of trading alone, the FTSE 100 lost £3 billion. Goldman Sachs warned investors of protracted volatility, and Morgan Stanley downgraded UK investment prospects from stable to negative. However, the true carnage was occurring within the Labour Party itself. 4 junior ministers resigned by Friday afternoon. Education Minister Catherine McKinnell resigned at 5 p.m. Home Office Minister Stephen Kinnock followed 2 hours later, and Transport Secretary Louise High was the first to submit a letter that was leaked within 30 minutes. "I cannot serve a Prime Minister who attacks the royal family for defending British veterans." The 5th resignation came at 10:15 p.m., shocking Westminster to its core. Veterans Minister Johnny Mercer, a former soldier who served in Afghanistan, did more than simply resign. Luke Pollard, Defense Minister, whose entire job involves supporting veterans, resigned at 7:30 p.m. with a statement deeming Starr's remarks indefensible. In a scathing resignation letter posted to Twitter, Mercer publicly supported Prince William's statement and called Starmer's response shameful. He wrote, "I've bitten my tongue for 2 years, but I will not remain silent while Bull Prime Minister who never served dismisses those who did." The letter went viral right away, being shared 340,000 times in 3 hours. Because Mercer is a decorated combat veteran and his words carry weight that no spin doctor can counter, Labour MPs privately acknowledged that this is the most damaging defection in party history. International reactions were swift and brutal, with Prime Minister Anthony Albanese publicly praising Prince William's support for veterans in Australia, where King Charles remains head of state. For the first time in decades, Britain appeared weak, divided, and rudderless on the international scene. On social media, the explosion was unprecedented. In Canada, Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre called Starmer's attack shameful and unbecoming. Even in New Zealand, opposition leaders questioned Britain's political stability. A video of Prince William's original speech received 47 million views in 36 hours. Starmer's approval rating plummeted from 39% to 22% overnight. Protests broke out in London, Manchester, Birmingham, and Glasgow, with thousands carrying signs reading "Veterans Before Migrants" and "William Speaking the Truth." And her number stand with William trended #1 globally for 18 hours in a row. This was no longer a political dispute. Rather, it was a full-scale national revolt against the Prime Minister. At number 10, the atmosphere has turned toxic, with ministers avoiding the Star and cabinet meetings that typically last 90 minutes, ending in 20 because no one wants to be linked to the crisis. Following what witnesses characterized as a yelling altercation, Chancellor Rachel Reeves allegedly left a strategy meeting. Deputy Prime Minister Angela Rayner was heard telling a colleague, "This is worse than I thought. We may not make it through the month." There's a lot of activity in WhatsApp groups with names like Post-Arma Strategy and Future Leadership. A senior Labour MP speaking on condition of anonymity told reporters late on Friday night, "I've been in Parliament 20 years and I've never seen anything like this." Senior MPs are openly debating who will succeed him, with names like Rayner herself, Reeves, Shadow Health Secretary Wes Streeting, and even former leader Ed Miliband being mentioned. The question is not whether they will challenge Starr for leadership, but rather when. He was utterly heartbroken during the cabinet meeting today. He is aware of what is about to happen. According to another insider, Starmer is paranoid, lonely, and angry with advisors. He claims to be defending democracy, but everyone around him knows he committed political suicide. His confidence has been replaced by total panic. The Labour Party isn't just having trouble, it's collapsing in real time. Later on Friday night, The Times obtained internal communications from Downing Street that completely altered our understanding of this crisis. 3 senior advisors specifically advised Starmer not to react to Prince William's speech. Starmer disregarded their advice and overruled his entire communications team. One memo obtained by the newspaper was brutally direct. Any public attack on the Prince of Wales will be seen as attacking veterans. This is unwinnable. Do not engage. According to former Labour strategist John McTernan, Starmer genuinely thought he could prevail in a public battle with the future king. He insisted on making the statement himself, so this catastrophe wasn't the result of bad advice or poor judgment from his team. Political analysts are calling it staggering arrogance. That degree of delusion is terrifying for a prime minister. But this is the layer that could put an end to Starmer's career by Monday morning. The Telegraph was able to obtain leaked government documents that reveal something absolutely devastating about the timeline of events. If these documents are authentic and support the claims made by multiple sources, then Keir Starmer was aware of Prince William's speech topic 48 hours prior to it. The documents purportedly shared between Downing Street and Kensington Palace state that William's team informed the government on Wednesday that the prince would address veteran homelessness. They were transparent, followed standard procedure, and provided advance notice, so Starmer had 2 full days to either prepare a measured response or remain silent. Instead, he decided to attack the future king in public. Consider what that means. This was not an impulsive response to an unexpected ambush. Rather, it was a deliberate choice to pick a fight with the monarchy. Either Starr misjudged public opinion spectacularly, or he genuinely feels that attacking the royal family appeals to his base. The optics of a prime minister who had time to reflect, consult advisors, and weigh the ramifications of his decision to declare war on Britain's most cherished institution would be disastrous. Constitutional law experts are calling this the worst political decision they have seen in contemporary British history. Both options are career-ending. At a Reform UK rally in Birmingham on Friday night, Nigel Farage spoke to an audience of 8,000 people with the assurance of someone who smells blood in the water, taking advantage of Labour's collapse with surgical precision. While Starmer burns, Farage seems composed, statesmanlike, and completely in line with public sentiment. He speaks for all of us, Farage proclaimed to huge applause as Prince William spoke on behalf of our veterans. The crowd shouted, and when the Prime Minister attacks him, he attacks British values itself. Chants of Farage for PM reverberated around the arena. Reform UK is now ahead of Labour in 6 constituencies for the first time in British political history. Patricia Jenkins, a 71-year-old retiree from Essex, stated, "I voted Conservative for 40 years. Farage is attracting lifelong tries, disgusted by their party's weakness." The polls tell the story clearly. Conservatives are steady at 34%, Labour is collapsing to 24%, Reform UK is surging to 26%, there's a 3-way deadlock, and the country is splitting along cultural fault lines. The political map is being redrawn in real time, traditional party allegiances are crumbling. Farage is the only one standing up for what makes Britain great, and a prince who dared to speak uncomfortable truths is at the center of the chaos. The next 72 hours are crucial for Britain's political survival. When Parliament reconvenes on Monday morning, Labour MPs are already calling for an emergency debate. Backbenchers who remained silent on Friday are now urging Starr to resign or issue an apology. The Prime Minister may face a no-confidence motion as early as Tuesday, and Buckingham Palace has arranged what is reportedly a crisis meeting between King Charles, Prince William, and senior constitutional advisors. According to sources, William wants to make another speech on topics like whether the monarchy should further distance itself from the government or intensify its public advocacy. Charles is reportedly caught between defending the crown's neutrality and standing by his son. If William speaks again and goes even farther, the situation will escalate beyond anything we have seen. The question now is not whether Starmer can survive this scandal, but whether the Labour government as a whole can survive. His own party is deserting him, his voters have turned against him, and his international allies are doubting his judgment. Britain is witnessing the Prime Minister's authority crumble in real time. Keir Starmer, who appears more and more alone, desperate, and finished, is at the center of this crisis, which will be studied for decades as the moment a British leader forgot that the monarchy isn't just ceremony and tradition, but the heart of British identity. This is the crucial question. What do you think will happen next? Will Labour survive this constitutional crisis, or will Reform UK ride this wave straight into Downing Street? Please share your thoughts in the comments section below. Will Starmer step down before he is forced out? Will Prince William speak again and complete what he started? Or will King Charles step in using constitutional powers not used in 200 years? We read all of them. And if this story shocked you as much as it shocked us, spread the word to everyone who needs to know what's actually going on in Westminster right now. The mainstream media won't tell you the whole truth, but we will. Subscribe, because by Monday morning, everything could change. You're witnessing history being made as the fight for Britain's soul takes place.